how are you? Hope you're fine. This is the Shy Yeti Show.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Good luck, studio.
Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh, there's going to be some drama ahead.
All I wanted was a pie, and then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record.
I see your mental condition is improving.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep? Is it deep?
Boy, he's not all that shy, is right.
Blimey, Governor, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Excellent.
657,
657. Bonjour et bienvenue au podcast The Shy Life.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shy Life Podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. How are you doing? I'm alright. So what's this episode going to be about? Well, some other concerning case, actually, which I was completely in the centre of. It all started with a letter that we received from the Royal League of Podcasters. It looked pretty serious. And, well, let's run the theme music. When we come back, you'll see exactly what I mean. All right, run that theme music.
Darling, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Yes, but it's a positive thing, Paul. The High Life, the Shy Life.
You won't find a cast of characters like this everywhere.
I'll go anywhere but to say so.
Delicious.
Hello, campers. How are you? You quite like a big bang, don't you?
Oh, yippee.
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh, I hope he hasn't found out my secret. Do you think he has?
I love the Yeti. It's my favorite thing.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Yeah, I'm strangely drawn to Yeti Uncle John's ankles as well.
I could eat more body weight in crisps every day.
Has anyone seen my hot sausage?
It's all gooey and meaty. Yum, 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 yum.
Oh, I can't wait for it to begin.
It's the Shy Life Podcast.
I like that, yeah.
Look, mommy, I'm famous.
Marvellous, Paul.
Hi there.
Oh dear, Paul. It all did look very serious, didn't it? Yes, it did. It most certainly did. I still remember that day, receiving that letter. Yes, Paul, well, oh dear. Shall we, I think we should. Listeners, let's go there. Let's go to that day when the letter came through the door. And, goodness, I really didn't know what to make of it. Have you got some posts there, Paul? Yeah. I really don't know what. I don't know what to make of this. I think this is a scam. What, Paul? This letter. Let me have a look. There. Gosh, it's from the League of Podcasters. Dear Mr. Chandler, we write to inform you that we are opening an investigation into the Shy Life Podcast. It has been brought to our attention that one of your listeners has listened to all of your episodes in a very short space of time, and it has affected him in a way that is most alarming. We shall be putting you in touch with our representative, who will... Dealey, I'm trying to read this letter. Sorry, Dales. Just had this letter, that's all. We'll put you in touch with your representative, and we will be grateful if you answered his questions. Please do realise that this is a serious matter, and we oh, dears, dears, please. We're trying to read this letter, dears. Dear, oh dear. What's going on? What? We had a letter from the League of Podcasters. It's very serious. Oh dear. What could it mean, Cromitty? I don't know, Paul. I'm really not sure. Well, I guess we just have to wait until this representative gets in touch. Yeah, but, I mean, what exactly are they saying? Well, it would appear that they're representing one of your listeners. But all they say is that one of our listeners listened to, like, all of the episodes that we've done in a very short space of time, and somehow, what, it's made him ill? Well, that's kind of what they infer. I mean, anybody with any sense realizes that listening to all 600 and whatever number episode it is now, episodes in one go, it's not something you should do lightly. No, I mean, no, anybody realizes surely that you have to listen to the Charlotte podcast in small doses. I mean, sometimes we do get a lot of downloads, you know, all in one day. It always makes me wonder who it is that's done that. I mean, often when I listen to podcasts, I download, I don't know, 10 or 20, perhaps, if I'm really into a show. But nobody has space on their hard drive for 600 and whatever episodes. Surely. I mean, aside from what it would do to you if you listened to that many episodes, you know, back to back, well, I mean, is there a warning? Is there a warning? Yes, you know, not to do it. Is there? Well, I don't actually think there's a warning. No, I mean, I never put a warning in the show notes because I just didn't think anyone would do that. Oh dear, Paul, when you might be up for a fine or something, or maybe worse. Well, I don't know any other podcast that has a thing in its show notes that says don't listen to any more than 3 or 4 episodes at a time. Smellcast doesn't. Yes, but the Smellcast is shorter episodes anyway, so you'd have to listen to a lot more episodes, perhaps. Oh dear, I'm really worried. I just wonder who this representative is going to be, and what questions they're going to ask. It's all right, Paul. I'll be here with you. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's just Yeti, Uncle John. I'll let him in. Yeti, Uncle John, what have you done with your keys? Oh, sorry, I left them back at the Magpie Hut. Oh dear. Well, you come just at the right time. We've received a letter. Yes. Poor Paul has been, well, he's been threatened by the Royal League of Podcasters. Well, I mean, not exactly threatened, but apparently one of my listeners has listened to all of the episodes back to back, and it's affected him. Apparently, it's really quite worrying. Yes. You see, I do know about this. Oh, you know about this? You got a letter too, did you? No, but I have seen the letter. Did it say that a representative will be calling over? Oh, yes, it did, but I don't know who or when. Oh dear, I think I have an idea about this. Yeti, Uncle John, don't tell me that you are the representative. Yes, I'm a senior member of the union. You are? I didn't know that. No, I don't like to talk about it, but no, I Dealey, we didn't know either. No, don't worry, Dealey, please. Don't worry about it. Come and join us if you want. Oh dear, he looks a bit agitated. Well, I think he is agitated. He's heard the letter. He's heard the letter, haven't you, dears? Oh, careful. Come on. Yes. Oh dear. Bouncy thing. Yes. Talkative tonight, aren't you? Okay then, Yeti, Uncle John. Seeing as you know so much about this, what exactly is going on? Well, I know all about it. That's all I can say. You know all about it. What about this listener? Yes. Then I think you'd better tell us something about it. Oh yes, I would be most. I will be. Oh dear. Look, I might have to play you something. Let me get my phone out. What is this, Yeti Uncle John? Well, I can tell you that the listener is a gentleman called Gianluca, and well, he's from Italy. And yes, he did recently download all the episodes and listen to them back to back whilst he was on some sort of, I don't know, long business trip. Okay. Oh gosh, an Italian listener, how wonderful. Yes, it's impressive, Paul. I think if you look at your stats, you do have downloads from all over. Well, yes, I am trying to broaden my appeal across mainland Europe. Listeners might remember my friend Matt. We did an episode with him, and, well, he's not the only person. And, well, Paul, you need to listen to this. All right. What am I listening to? Well, it's a recording that I was sent by the Royal League of Podcasters, and, well, this is Gianluca, like, just you know, some recording of him. He was a very bright lad, quite promising, and that's what I've been told anyway. Have a listen. You can hear just how intelligent he is, but by all the long words he's using. Oh dear, Yeti Uncle John. Go on, play it.
Hello folks, how are you? Really hope you're fine. I am Gianluca, 25 years old, and I am a software engineer working for Deloitte, an important IT company here in Europe. My branch of application is theory of computation, and if you're just asking what it is computation theory, well, I am here for an introduction only for you. Theory of computation is a branch of computer science, we could say, that is concerned with how problems can be solved using algorithms and how efficiently they can be solved. Something like that. You know, real-world computers perform computations that by nature run like mathematical models to solve problems in a systematic ways. The essence of the computation theory maybe could be the fact is helping develop mathematical and logical models that run efficiently and to the point of the outing. Since all machines that implement logic apply TOC, studying TOC gives learner an insight into computer hardware and software limitations.
Yes, there were lots of long words. Yes, not only does he have a good grasp of English, but, well, he gets even more, technical and extremely brainy when he speaks in his own language.
Il mio paese, l'Italia, è un paese fantastico, meraviglioso. Io non potrei essere più contento di essere nato qui, perché è vero, ci sono molte criticità, è vero, non è un paese ricchissimo attualmente, ma è un paese ricco di storia, ricco di cultura e ricco soprattutto di buon cibo, soprattutto per gli amanti golosoni come me della pasta. L'alimento probabilmente più importante, più tipico del nostro paese appunto è proprio la pasta, che a Roma trova nelle ricette della carbonara e della matriciana la propria massima interpretazione. La carbonara è qualcosa di indescrivibile, va assolutamente provata. Sappiate che l'abbinamento uovo, pecorino e guanciale non è mai stato più buono di così.
So I hear. Oh, I do like to hear Italian spoken by a native. When you watch those scary Italian giallos, Paul, I always prefer it when you listen to the versions with subtitles, because it's just nice to hear the language. It is. It's not so nice to hear the language when the person who's speaking has apparently been affected by excessive listening of the Shy Life podcast, though. What are the other podcasters going to say? I feel so embarrassed. Oh, Paul, it sounds very fishy to me. I'm sure they've not got the story right. Well, is there any recordings of what he sounds like now? I mean, if that's the recording of what he sounded like before he started listening to the show, what about now? Oh, yes. Well, we do have recordings of that. Oh, dear. Brace yourself. It's quite shocking if you consider how intelligent and professional he was sounding in the previous recording. This is quite off the other end of the scale. Oh, dear. Go on, play it. Oh, Yeti Uncle John.
Oh my god, I feel like the lesson of that note, when Light Yagami is spotted to be Kira. When I listen to the episodes of the Shy Yeti podcast, I'm really getting crazy. What the fuck? Oh, damn. The name. Guys, the name. Shy Yeti. I am 25 years old and I was feeling like 52 because I was I was laughing to a word Shy Yeti. It's like you are in a submarine, and then you realize it's shitey. What is the genius? Einstein? Physics, relativity? Oh no. That kind of stuff is old, okay? It's completely deprecated. Here we are on another level. Shitey. Oh well. Watch an episode of the podcast. Is like getting drunk with mineral water. When you watch the characters, oh my god, you really are in front of a mess. Okay, aliens, cats, Sir Yeti. That he's a wonderful person, but maybe could be affected by the by the bipolarism or anolarism. Yeti, ma che cosa vai facendo? Yeti, ma sei completamente impazzito, sei una persona senza alcun senso. Oh mamma mia, mi voglio andare a buttare dal quinto piano senza motivo. Ho voglia di scavalcare i cancelli aperti. Oh my
goodness. Is that what listening to 600 and something episodes of the Shallow podcast does to one? I'm afraid so, Paul. The evidence is there before us. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Poor Luca. I don't know what to say. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, aren't I? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult. This is the first example of such a syndrome. I don't believe there are that many other people who have listened to as many episodes in such a short space of time. It's a wonder that we're not affected. Yes, well, we're making the episodes. That's a completely different experience. I guess so. This has all happened to us over a period of 7 or more years. And, oh dear. I can't believe that we're responsible for that poor man's decline into whatever it is he's declined into. Maybe he'll get better, Paul. Maybe he'll get better if he stops listening. Well, the Royal League of Podcasters seems to think that, if that is the case, it will take a long time. But I don't know what I could have done. I don't know what I could have done to have, warned him. None of us knew that would happen. Well, this is true. It is true. And, with anything like this, I mean, I'm sure if you sat down and watched Doctor Who from end to end, you'd end up like that. Not a lot of people do it. I mean, not a lot of people do it in such sort of limited space of time. You know, I'm sure it's not something that's just limited to the Shylock podcast. I wonder if there are any other cases. I need somebody to defend me. I mean, you seem very much on the side of the League of Podcasters, Yeti Uncle John. I'm trying not to have an opinion, Paul. But you're part of the problem, effectively. Oh no, I wouldn't say that. Well, you're part of the Shylock podcast. I'm surprised they've even allowed you to be here. Well, it's just a favour I'm doing. I bet they paid you something. Have they paid you in biscuits? Right now, come on. Let's not discuss this. Oh dear, that poor man. I feel so bad. I mean, I just have to put a warning note out there. It's the same. Just limit yourself. You know, it's like when you take headache pills. You're only supposed to take so many in a 24-hour period. It's the same with the Shylock podcast. I just would have thought that people would have been more sensible, but it's all very well to say that. But the damage is done, Paul. The damage is done. Oh, gosh. Oh dear, listeners, I really didn't want this to happen. Is it okay if you just let me have a few minutes to myself to think about this, Yeti Uncle John? I mean, what is the next step? Well, I've just got to do some investigation. I need to speak to a few people. Speak to Cuthbert, for instance, just to talk about whether this is something that's happened to other people, with other shows or podcasts. Fair enough, sure. Listeners, whilst I have a think about this and consider what exactly it is that I may or may not have done, perhaps you would like to listen to something, a clip, a chat, some music. I'm really not sure. Oh dear. I'm really beginning to doubt that, all this work, all these years, and then I was here. I do it to make people happy or to cheer people up. I don't want them to end up like poor old Luca. Oh dear. Well, Paul, I'll go and have a chat to a few people, and I'll leave you to it. Thank you, Yeti Uncle John. Oh dear. Oh, Paul, please don't be upset. I'm a little bit suspicious about something. This doesn't ring true to me. What do you mean? You've heard the evidence? Yes, well, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I think we need to approach Gianluca. Approach him? Well, what's the point? He's not going to make any sense. You heard that last message? Yes, Paul, I did. I did, but, well, you know what Yeti Uncle John is like. And these official bodies, they can often get things wrong. Oh, Cromitty, I'm worried you'll just make things worse. Stir things up. What if Gianluca's family want to sue me or something? I mean, I guess I would deserve it. No, Paul, it won't come to that. I also think it's wrong that Yeti Uncle John is here. He's the most corruptible person I know. If they've offered him biscuits, I mean, this could well be another trick from long-lost cousin Algernon, for all we know. Oh, I do hope not. It's certainly causing me trouble, whatever. Yes, well, I want to find out the truth, and I think there is truth to be found out. Okay. You do know we can't afford a budget for you to go to Italy to go and speak to this gentleman. No, Paul. Have you never heard of Zoom or Skype? I would have thought you have, considering that you record your show on it. Oh yeah, of course. I was just thinking that you were keen to jump on an airplane and go to Italy. I mean, who wouldn't be? I miss Italy. I haven't been there for ages. I miss Venice. Don't worry, Paul. You have your thinking time, and the listeners will listen to something, and then when we come back, I hope that we'll know more. Well, I only hope you're right. I don't think I could go on knowing that some poor gent has been turned silly by this show. I mean, it is a very silly show. It is a very silly show. Yes, I agree with that, but it doesn't ring true to me. I think the facts have not been clearly laid out before us. Maybe you're right. I am right, believe me, Paul. I'll sort this out. No, you just have a think for a while. But try to think positively. All right, Cromitty, I will. I will. Oh dear, poor Gianluca. I hope he's going to be okay. He'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. I just hope he'll be fine. Oh, Cromitty. Hi listeners, we're in Wetherspoons in Surbiton and I'm here with Harry. Hi Harry, how are you doing? What have you been up to? Tell us.
Oh, I'm fine. I've had a lovely holiday in Valencia recently.
Yes.
That was quite interesting. A mixture of old and new architecture and a very beautiful place to hang out for a few days.
And I hear that the hotel was good.
Well, there were two hotels. So the first hotel that I went to, which is basically because I travelled by rail. So this was a very, very long journey for me because I travelled via Paris and Barcelona to get to Valencia. So I got to Valencia quite late and I had this sort of stayover hotel called Hotel Concredor, which was very, very difficult to actually find, but eventually I found it and they put me into the new bit of the hotel that's just been built. So my heart sort of sunk. Because the main hotel is so lovely and so it had a massive reception with a bar and seemed very, very welcoming. And then they basically directed me to go outside and go down a passageway and find this other hovel to go in. So I went in there. I went to my room and there was a little gift card. Yes, saying a gift courtesy of Hotel Concredor. Yeah, no, enjoy this gift by courtesy of Hotel Concredor.
Oh, it's lovely. What was it? A bottle of wine, some chocolates?
It was a female orgasm enhancer.
So what was it like?
I did not avail myself of this. This is, in case you're wondering, it's some sort of gel that you would probably put somewhere if you had certain female lady parts of your body.
It's a lovely thought. Something for
but it's kind of useless for a married gay man.
A bottle of wine would be nicer.
Yes, I think so. So I don't quite know what they were thinking about.
Did you say Valencia is quite near Barcelona-ish?
Well, it's, yes. By rail, I would say it's about probably 4 or 5 hours from memory. I think something like that.
I did a road trip with Dr. Neff many years ago, and I think we may have started in Valencia. We finished in Barcelona, but then we went all the way around the countryside for a week or so. But I think we might have started in Valencia. I've never remembered. Yeah, so I think somewhere there'll be a blog where I wrote where I went. It's one of those things where it's such a long time ago, and that was a road trip anyway. So
I've done Barcelona before. Barcelona is just a wonderful city to go to, but I wanted to try somewhere different, and so came up with Valencia.
Yeah, I think I've been there. And you're going to the theatre today.
That's right. Tonight I'm going to be going to Frozen the musical. So
I hope you've brought your coat. that joke was courtesy of my dad, probably.
Yeah. So we've got some seats in the King's box.
My goodness.
But it's actually quite cheap seats, so about 60 quid each. So, so at least we'll get some decent leg room, I think. Although the view might be a little bit restricted. But it's fine, And enjoy it.
And you've been to the cinema?
Yes, so I went to see Mission Impossible.
95?
Something like that. There's been quite a few in that series.
Is that the only film series that Simon Pegg's involved in? Actually, isn't he involved in Star Trek?
That's also true, yeah. So Simon Pegg's in it, he's very good actually. As you can imagine, it's the comedy sort of elements and stuff like that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very sort of fast-paced, but it's very, very long, like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Does he have? I don't know. I've only seen the first two, and I always thought the difference between old Mission Impossible from the 60s and 70s was that you had the kind of main guy, and then he would pick his gang. With the Tom Cruise version, it seems to be very much Tom Cruise.
Yes and no. I mean, he doesn't get to pick the gang, but he has a gang. It's all sort of pre-assembled. But in terms of the gang, it's just 2 other people, or maybe 2 or 3 other people.
Are they the same people in each film, or are they different people?
I believe yes, that is the case. Yes, I don't want to ruin it, but one of them might get replaced.
Because it used to be. I do have the original series on DVD. It's not that I'm a massive fan, but the sets were quite cheap.
I love the old series.
Yeah.
It's always quite sort of clever, well constructed.
I just find I don't want to watch too many in a row though, because I find that about a lot of the shows I have on DVD. Not brilliant. They're good to watch one every other night or something.
Sorry about the wait.
That's all right. And what else have you done?
Oh, apart from
travel.
What else?
You're always doing something. Like you've done stuff with our friend Andrew.
Oh yes, indeed. Sorry, yes. We very recently went to 2 brewers, gay pub in Clapham Common, and they had basically a 2-man show. The main person was basically playing. It's called Diana the Untrue Story. And basically it's just a made-up version of what happened of Diana's life with Prince, now King Charles, and her death, where she manages to escape being killed by the royal family, of course, which is what actually happened, and goes to almost assassinate the Queen, but then sort of decides not to assassinate her. It's very, very funny, very, very funny. And unfortunately, it was one of the only downside was it was an audience participation, but thankfully did not get called upon.
Sometimes you send me text messages when you're at the George and Dragon, is it?
Oh, I love going to the George and Dragon.
You have to be careful if you're caught texting by the.
That's right. I put down the phone. You have to give the act your full attention. You applaud. You just try to keep out of the line of sight. And generally speaking, I've been very successful in doing that. And they tend to not move too far away from the stage in terms of picking their victims. But they pick their victims, and they just rip the mickey out of people.
I used to go with you years ago.
It's okay. If you are the victim, then you basically should not heckle back. You should just basically take being ripped the piss out of and just laugh along with it, because nobody likes to someone who can't sort of take it, and it's all done in a light-hearted sort of way.
in about 2 months' time, you and I are going on a trip.
Yes, going to Swanage.
Listeners, you remember that Yeti Uncle John went to Swanage with his magpies, and they had a big fight with the seagulls. And he didn't sleep, but he did recommend Swanage. Of course, Harry and I have been to Swanage before, so we knew we liked it. But it was Yeti Uncle John that gave us the idea for this, because originally our plans were going to have been a bit more ambitious, but seemed like a good, you don't have to go too far. Plenty of seats for me if I need to sit down. And we won't be surprisingly enough, we won't be bringing magpies with us. So there's unlikely to be many wars going on the beach between seagulls and magpies. And I believe Mr. Hillier is also going to make a cameo at some point. So yes, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, looking forward to that, and we'll probably make it to Cork Castle or Cork at least.
And there's the amusement arcade. There's even some sort of ferry to Bournemouth if you so wish, but I don't know.
Oh, I'd be up for that if we did. If you're up for it.
See how we feel.
Yeah.
It's the getting about once we get there that's
going to be the issue, isn't it?
I'll wait on the pier whilst
we may do a song. We may do a song.
In which case we might do that instead of going to Bournemouth because we need the time. Anyway, so enjoy the theatre later, and we shall speak again soon. And I'm glad you had such a good holiday. And if you've still got that sachet, I may know somebody who might want to use it. Bettina Dufresne is up for anything, really. All right. Bye for now.
Darling, what on earth has been going on?
Oh, Bettina, I wouldn't let it worry you.
But I can't believe it's taking you to court or something.
No, well, it's not a proper court. It's the Royal League of Podcasters. I don't know. Just an investigation.
An investigation into what, darling? I don't understand it.
Well, one of my listeners has apparently downloaded all the episodes and listened to them back to back, and it's made him go a bit doolally.
Oh, darling, I mean, but surely anything you listen to like that, it's not meant for listening to in all in one go.
No, well, quite.
Then surely, I mean, if you listen to the news back to back for however many hours, you go doolally. I mean, I don't even listen to the news. It just makes me so cross all the time.
No, me neither. And I can't say I miss it. To be honest, I don't think I've ever been the sort of person who sits down and listens to the news or watches the news. My parents do. They head for the television set excitedly. I think they pretty much have their dinner and lunch at the time they do, just so that they can sit down and listen to the news afterwards. It's not my cup of tea.
No, darling. I mean, there was a time when sometimes I would be in the news, but even then it was usually something that I hadn't done, but the papers thought I had.
Of course.
Anyway, I just wanted to give you a call and say that I'm behind you.
You're behind me? I didn't see you.
No, silly. Oh, dear. So who is this gentleman?
Oh, he's just a listener from Italy. Gianluca. I'd like to speak to him, but I guess if the show has done what apparently it's done to him, he won't make much sense at the moment.
Oh, do they think it's reversible, darling?
I don't know. Cromitty's looking into it, actually.
Oh, Cromitty? Oh, good boy.
Yeah, he thinks there's something suspicious about the whole story.
Oh, well, I must admit it does sound weird.
Yeah,
I can't believe that Yeti Uncle John is, basically trying to, I don't know, what is he trying to do, darling?
Well, he's trying to collect evidence for the League, but, I mean, he comes to me and plays this recording of what Gianluca sounded like at the start, and then what he sounds like now, and, it's alarming. It's alarming and it's upsetting, and I can't believe our poor little show has caused this.
Oh, darling, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I know it's easy to say that, but I'm sure Cromitty will find out the truth.
I hope so. I really do. Anyway, how's everything with you? How's August?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Oh, no, we haven't got much news at the moment, I'm afraid. But we just wanted to let you know that we were behind you. I mean, as it were. Do you know what might happen? I mean, if, the worst comes to the worst.
No, I don't know. I don't know that they can strike us off, off the roster of podcasts, but I'm not sure. Cromitty's trying to find that out as well. I mean, the thing is, there was never a warning, in the show notes not to listen to multiple episodes of the podcast. You just don't presume that anyone's going to do that. You think it'd be common sense not to sit down and listen to 600 and whatever episodes back to back. But, I mean, it's a bit like eating all the sweeties out of the sweetie jar and then being sick. I mean, you're not meant to do it. You're not meant to eat a whole jar of sweeties, and yet I'm sure somebody does, and then somebody's ill. Is it the fault of the sweeties? Or what,
Oh, yes, I completely understand, darling. Trouble is, these days, you need to put a warning, because people just don't have common sense, and perhaps he was doing it for a bet.
I'm not sure, but, I mean, he seemed like a really sensible guy, He was talking about, computers and all sorts of things, and should have heard his Italian accent. You know how much I love Italy. I can't believe that, I can't believe this has happened.
Oh, darling. Well, I hope Cromitty finds something.
Oh, I hope he does too.
Have you heard from any of the others?
No, I don't want to bother anyone. It just makes me feel sad.
Oh, darling, don't be sad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bettina, there's the doorbell. I'm going to have to go.
Oh, gosh. All right, darling. You just chin up, eh? Chin up, darling. 1 million kisses, 1,000,001 kisses, all right? Darling.
Thanks, Bettina. Better get this door. Bye for now.
Bye, darling.
Hello. Oh, Martin, what are you doing here?
Hello, Paul. I heard the news. I thought I'd better come over. I've got a box of chocolates here and some flowers.
Oh, Martin, thank you. That feels bad though. I'm not the one who's gone doolally.
I know that, Paul, but it must be a dreadful shock being accused of this, even though you've not knowingly done anything.
It has been a shock. Thank you. Come in. I'll put the kettle on.
Oh, yeah, please.
How was Tallulah? How's Reginald?
Oh, they're good. Yeah, they're good. Reginald's been a bit quiet. Not quite sure what's going on there.
Oh, well,
How did this all happen?
I don't really know. Well, we got this letter from the Royal League of Podcasters, and it just said I was being investigated because one of my listeners had gone doolally.
Oh, blimey. I mean, surely there must be some sort of, just common sense.
That's what everyone keeps saying. Nothing is meant to be read or listened to or eaten or whatever in such large quantities.
Whatever possessed him? I mean, to do that?
I don't know. Maybe it was a dare. I just don't know what to say.
Oh, you can't be held responsible for this.
Well, I mean, what really gets to me is that Yeti Uncle John is sort of the guy from the ministry, as it were. Well, the league or whatever. He's part of the union or whatever.
That does sound very weird. It really does, Paul. I mean, of all things, he should have just stepped back and said, no, I won't investigate it.
Yeah, and as somebody said to me, he's the most corruptible man about. He'll do anything for a few packets of biscuits.
Makes me wonder whether, it's been a setup, Paul.
Makes me wonder as well. Oh, dear. Has he spoken to you in Tallulah?
Well, he did call us, and we'd already heard. Reginald had heard on the grapevine, so we ignored his phone call. We don't want to say anything to him. It feels like he's betrayed you.
Oh, well, Yeti Uncle John, I mean, he's forever doing things that upset us. He is indeed. Oh, here he comes now. Hello, guys. Martin. Oh, what are you doing here? I've been trying to call you.
I know you have. I don't want to speak to you.
Oh, come on, Martin. I'm just doing my job.
I'm not so sure. You shouldn't even be doing this job.
Oh, look. I'm just doing the business of the league. The Royal League of Podcasters. We're just investigating.
So you're investigating yourself?
No, I'm just investigating the show. Just to try to find out if poor old Gianluca deserves some sort of, compensation.
Oh, and who's going to be paying this compensation? Poor old Paul. Poor old Paul doesn't have any money. What do they expect? Him to sell his flat?
Oh no. I can't sell my flat. Where would Dealey live? Where would Cuthbert live? Oh, he won't come to that.
You better not to. You wouldn't have a home.
Well, I've got my magpie hut.
Well, maybe they'd expect you to sell that too.
What? No.
Come on, Yeti Uncle John. Don't you think this whole thing is very suspect?
Whatever do you mean? I'll have you know the Royal League of Podcasters are a very decent bunch, very upstanding.
It seems very odd they've let you investigate. What if it turned out that he went to Larry because he heard your voice too much?
Martin, what are you saying?
Well, could be. Who knows?
Martin, I don't like your tone.
I'm just saying...
Come on, guys. No need to argue. Oh, now who's turning up? Hello. Oh, Cromitty, good to see you. Goodness, Yeti Uncle John, you're here. Well, it's a good thing. Martin, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too, Cromitty. What have you been up to?
I've been doing some research. I've been trying to find the truth in all this story.
Oh, yeah? What have you found out?
Well, it's good news. What's going on? I've been doing an investigation of my own, Yeti Uncle John. Now, come on. You can't do that. I'm the one who's doing the investigation. I'm on official business from the Royal League of Podcasters. Nobody said that I couldn't do my own research. If you had done your research properly, you would have found out exactly what I found out. And what is that exactly? I have found out that you have presented the evidence in the wrong order.
What does that mean? Cromitty?
Yeah, what does that mean? Cromitty? Well, Yeti Uncle John played us those recordings of Gianluca sounding very educated, and then the recording of where he sounded very doolally. Yeah, that's true. Well, Paul, that isn't the right order. I don't understand. Oh, Paul, it's true that Gianluca listened to the podcast, and that he listened to every episode, back to back. Yes, we know that. Yes, but what we are saying, but you are saying that it damaged him. The truth is not that. That is not the truth. Oh, I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I understand either, Cromitty. You'll have to explain.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Well, apparently, Gianluca was a very silly man. A very silly man. He was a very silly man from the day he was born. He was always telling jokes and saying silly things, and nobody took him very seriously. And then one day he sat down and he listened to the Shy Life podcast. And he went from being a very silly man to being a very educated, clever man. Those tapes that Yeti Uncle John played us, those recordings, he played them in the wrong order. You see, there is no case to answer, except that it would appear that, at least in Gianluca's case, listening to so many episodes of the Chalet podcast filled his brain full of so many facts and information that he became a very, very clever man and quite an academic who has a great future ahead of him. What, really?
That makes a lot more sense.
It is true. I don't believe it. Well, why would the League, why would the League of Podcasters be investigating if that was the case? Well, I don't know yet, Uncle John. I don't know. And how do I know that what you're saying is true? Because, well, any minute now, we should be getting a message from Gianluca, and he'll tell you himself. Oh, marvellous. Look, all I know is the evidence I was given, the facts I was given. Well, it would seem that somebody has been stirring. Somebody deliberately provided the evidence without the correct information. Oh. Long lost cousin Algernon? Well, who knows? Somebody like that. Somebody who is not a fan of the Charlotte podcast. Somebody who wanted to get us into trouble. Oh, how awful. Well, it's Uncle John. We just have to wait for this message from Gianluca, I suppose. Cromitty, can we put a case together to set the Royal League straight? Absolutely, I've already done it. Just waiting for this last piece of evidence. Oh, look, Paul, I'm really sorry. I feel embarrassed. I was just doing what I was told to do. You know, and I'm sure they paid you handsomely in biscuits or something. Or maybe. But look, Paul, please, don't take this personally. No, I won't take it personally. You should never have agreed to have taken the case. Well, I'm on the council. Yeah, but doesn't it seem strange that they'd let you, investigate yourself, effectively? Well, yeah, I mean, admittedly, yes, it does.
Who even is this Royal League of Podcasters? Never heard of them before. You never mentioned them. It's like they've been invented for this one episode.
It does seem a bit like that, doesn't it, Martin? It's all very suspect. I don't know. They exist. They do. Right. Well, listeners, I think it's time we listen to something else before we have to say goodbye. Then when we come back, maybe Cromitty will have the evidence, and we can wrap this whole business up. Yes. Another 10-15 minutes, and we should have the evidence. Good. Thank you. Oh dear, I'm glad. I'm glad you've been able to prove this. I can't believe it. I'm kind of proud now. Yes, you should be. Although, I mean, I don't think many people are going to sit there and listen to so many episodes in a row. And who knows? Maybe there's just something lucky in Gianluca's brain that triggered it, and it was just a happy coincidence. Yeah, maybe. Oh, wow. The Charlotte podcast. Making geniuses along the way. Oh, yeah, well, people throw around that word, genius, quite a lot, and rarely is it a proven doer. Yeah, I know somebody in this room who definitely uses the word genius quite a lot, and there's no scientific proof for it. But there you go. I don't know what you mean. Oh dear.
Funny.
All right, listeners, have a listen to something when you come back. It'll be time to say goodbye. But anyway, have a listen.
tous les étés. Est-ce que j'ai trop demandé? Phrase de phrase. Cet été et tous les étés. Est-ce que j'ai trop demandé?
Paul, the evidence is here. We have a message from Gianluca. Oh, marvellous. What, actually from him? Yes. He has addressed it to you. And, it proves everything. Oh, thank goodness. Yeti, Uncle John, where are you? Come and listen to this. What? What is it? It's the message. The one that we were hoping to hear to confirm all this silliness. Oh, all right. So you were right then, Cromitty, were you? Well, I was, yes. Somebody has deliberately confused things to make it look like we did something wrong when actually we did something right, even if we didn't realize it. Well, Cromitty, please play it. Oh, yes. Please play it.
What's going on?
Martin, come in. We've got the message. Cromitty's got the message.
Oh, amazing. Are you going to play it?
Yes. Cromitty? All right. Here it goes.
Hello, Mr. Yeti. Good morning. I really hope you're fine. Just wanted to say thank you so much. I mean, I don't want to waste your time. I know you are a very busy person, very engaged, but I'm becoming day after day, and without a notice, honestly, a great fan of your podcast, because substantially I'm noticing a great improvement in my IQ and logical skills. I don't know why. Apparently, if someone watches one of your episodes, is in front of a very creative word of yours, maybe a bit difficult to understand in the first times. But in my case, it's like trying to understand what is present in your mind is a very, very great train for my brain. You know, I feel like I can have any kind of genial idea. It's difficult to explain. So, well, I know it's strange, but thank you so much. Keep up the good work.
That's marvellous news. Thank goodness. All that worry. And there I was thinking that poor Gianluca was, worse off for having discovered the Shy Life podcast. One doesn't like to hear that one's listeners are somehow tortured by the episodes you put out. Oh, Paul, everything is fine. We'll make sure that the Royal League of Podcasters gets the right end of the stick. I wonder if we'll be able to find out who started the complaint in the first place. Well, it clearly wasn't Gianluca. As you say, probably long-lost cousin Algernon or at least somebody who doesn't like us. Oh, dear. I feel quite embarrassed now, Paul. Never mind. At least we know the truth now. At least we know that Gianluca's fine. Yes, that is very good news. Anyway, listeners, as I said, that's about all we've got time for. So, for a minute there, It was quite worrying, but at least now, well, we know the truth. We ought to keep in touch with Gianluca. Perhaps he could be a guest on the show one day. Well, maybe, maybe. He'd probably be too intelligent for us now. Quite possibly. All right. Listeners, well, join us again soon. We've got plenty of episodes in the can. You take care, and, yeah, all right. Bye-bye for now. Oh, goodbye, listeners.
Oh, yeah, goodbye. Say goodbye, Yeti, Uncle John.
Yes, goodbye. Oh, dear, I'm sorry. Never mind, Yeti, Uncle John, never mind. All right, listeners, bye for now. Bye-bye.
Marvellous, Paul. I'm so glad we were able to find out the whole truth.
Yes, me too. You must tell your mum and Reginald, and I better get on the phone to Bettina. Oh dear. Well, I'm glad I could help anyway. Seems like a nice chap, that Gianluca. He does, doesn't he? He does. Can't believe that we've gone from fearing that too much Shy-Life podcast could damage your health to too much Shy-Life podcast could raise your IQ. Who knew, eh? Who knew? Oh, it's good though. I guess you do a lot of episodes where there are facts and things. I mean, maybe his expertise is in films and pop music. Maybe, quite possibly. But, you know, we do those Open University episodes sometimes. And Mr. T is always giving us facts about space, moons, and... yeah. Well, do you think we could actually put it as an official tagline? Regular exposure to the Shy-Life podcast can raise your IQ. Oh dear, but maybe not for everybody. Doesn't seem to have helped us, does it? Maybe not.
Never mind. If it's helped just one person, then that's a good thing.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took him to listen to all those episodes. Must have been a while, even if he listened to them back to back. Well, I mean, even if every episode was an hour long, that would still take a day to listen to 24 episodes, but most of the episodes are a lot longer than that. Yes, that's true.
Well, maybe we'll ask him one day.
Maybe one day. All right, well, I can hear the theme music coming, so it's time to say goodbye. Yes, where's Yeti Uncle John gone? I don't know. Keeping his head down, I think. Yeah, I don't suppose we'll ever know the full story behind this whole business, but if nothing else, it's introduced us to a new friend in Italy as well. Oh yes, it's good. That's very good. Always good to hear from a listener. It is indeed. Anyway, right, let's go. I think time to say goodbye. Yes, goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
I gotta go now.
Goodbye.
It's been good, but yeah, definitely time to come home now.
Hello. Goodbye. Yes, goodbye.
Wow. Really? No kidding.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
Oh dear. What's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy-Life podcast. Let's go.
I have a voice.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
Oh, darling, how fascinating. Oh, thank goodness it turned out quite the opposite of what you were fearing.
Yes, I know. Oh, dear. For a moment there, I thought they might try and shut us down.
Oh, darling, I don't think they could have done that. I mean, it would have been unfortunate, but, well, you know, everybody can have a bad reaction to something, and, well, but anyway, I'm just glad that it was the opposite.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know quite how silly he was to start with, but from what it sounds like, listening to the show has helped to improve his IQ.
Oh, marvellous, darling. Maybe it was listening to all my talks about my old films.
Could be, who knows. Still, perhaps it was just a little spark, you know. A little bit of learning can go a long way. Once he started to hear facts, maybe it caused him to investigate more. You know, I'm sure we can't take the credit for everything.
Oh, darling, they'd have had you take the credit if it had been the opposite. So why not take the credit for helping him?
Suppose you're right. Even if it was just a spark, it's good to be that spark that lit the change for good in Luca. Darling, do you think you'll ever meet up with him? Well, I'd love to, but, well, he's in Italy and I'm over here. I mean, he's always welcome to come on the show, even if not in person. I hope that happens. I hope he sends in more messages. It would be very nice to have a new friendship. It's always good. He does seem a very, very nice guy, and well, I mean, I appreciate that he's listened to so many of the shows.
Yes, darling, yes. Oh, I would really like to know who started off this whole mess, who contacted the Royal League of Podcasters and stirred things up, and yes. Gosh, I bet Yeti Uncle John's feeling embarrassed now.
He is, but to be fair, he, you know, he's on the council and, anyway.
Well, he didn't do much to support you, did he?
I guess not, but the lure of payment in biscuits is, you know, it's happened to a lot of people on this show.
Oh, darling. Oh, well, I better let you go.
Please. Yes, I need to get on with a few things, but you take care and we'll see you soon.
Of course, darling. I'm so glad it worked out in our favour.
Me too. All right. Bye-bye for now, Bettina. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, darling. 1,000,000 kisses. 1,000,001 kisses.
Bye. Oh, just talking to Bettina, were you? Yes, Yeti Uncle John, just talking to Bettina. Just updating her. Oh, well, I expect she was very pleased to hear that things weren't as bad as we thought they might be. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just glad it's all sorted out and that Gianluca's fine. Yes. Are you very cross with me, Paul? Am I cross with you? No, not cross with you. You were just doing your work as part of the Royal League of Podcasters. I guess these complaints have to be looked into. I'm surprised you accepted the job. I'm surprised they wanted you to do the job, considering how close to the show you are. I mean, technically, you could have been part of the problem. Well, I know. Yes. Well, they'll have to do an investigation now to see who stirred this whole subject in the first place. Oh, well, I'm not sure they're that keen to do that. Are they not? Oh, that sounds very typical of those sorts of official bodies. They're fine when they're investigating somebody else, but when someone wants to investigate them, they're not interested. Well, I'm pretty much sure we know who is responsible. Long lost cousin Algernon? Could be, most probably. Wouldn't surprise me. If not him, then somebody else. I really am sorry, Paul. I really should have questioned it, you know, just that the evidence looked so damning. Yeah, well, anyway. Gianluca's okay. That's the main thing. And we made a new friend. And a friend that we were able to help. Yes, Paul, yes. One day I'll learn. One day you'll learn, yes, Uncle John. Maybe one day, a long, long way in the future. Oh, come on, Paul. Have some faith in me. I'll try. Never mind. Come on, let's go and have a cup of tea. Oh, that would be marvellous. Just make sure you don't put the water in before you put the tea bag in, you know. Make sure you get the ingredients the right way round. Yeah, very funny. Well, you know, I just can't help it, can I? The Shy Life podcast raises your IQ. I never thought I'd say that. Whoa. Nor me.
Oh my God, there's nothing I like better is when another new episode of the Shy Life podcast comes out.
Okay, let's just shut this one out. Get her going.
Well, we could do some key considerations, maybe, of the computational problems. Like, for example, we could ask ourselves, what can and can't be computed? And it's very important. The speed of such computations, and the amount of memory in use during this computation itself. What is the importance of theory of computation? Well, one of the most important books I read is Michael Sipser's. Really, and very expensive. It's, it's something like cost $90 or something similar. Anyway, according to this book, we could say that the theory of computation forms the basis for writing efficient algorithms that run in computing devices, programming language research and their development, and efficient compiler design and construction. The theory of computation is made up of 3 branches. My favorite one is automata theory, but we have also computability and complexity theory that can be applied also in the more applied informatics and computer science of the modern era.
This is just the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
That is so cringe, oh my God. You're a man of culture as well.
Mics, mixers, action! Mark your calendars because this September 15th to 17th, Pride 48 is the place to be. Join us for our grand finale and final annual live streaming podcasting event. Experience the vibrant colors of our community with an entire weekend of LGBTQ and LGBTQ-friendly podcasts from our stable of current shows, some that you haven't heard in many years, and even a few brand new ones. It all kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, September 15th. More information can be found at our website, pride48.com.